Hi, my name is Karishma Rana, and in this presentation I will be guiding you through the web evaluation with the brand Very.co.uk. In the presentation, 6 sections will be covered and we'll discuss in detail the user experience journey through Very.co.uk's mobile site. I will be covering an expert review, guerrilla testing, A/B testing, and finishing off by presenting my final designs incorporating findings and overall user feedback. My client Very.co.uk is an online British retailer based in Liverpool. The target audience is predominantly females aged 25 to 44. The retailer is a part of an umbrella company known as Shop Direct. The brand offers a wide range of products covering clothing, electricals, home and garden, sports and beauty. Here the client's desktop and mobile sites can be viewed. This is how typically the websites would work on these variations. There is a significant change in the layout due to the lack of space on the mobile desktop site, reducing content to become viewable in a vertical orientation as opposed to the typical horizontal. Very's colour scheme is predominantly pink, white, black and grey. It is bold and eye-catching, well suited to the dominant female target audience. The expert review is made up of 2 components, the cognitive walkthrough and the heuristic evaluation. The expert review is an inspection method specifically designed to identify usability issues. Firstly, the cognitive walkthrough was carried out. I, the researcher, carried out a task imagining myself as a typical user, walking through a set of the typical user's tasks to complete on the website with the given scenario. The scenario was to go to the Very.co.uk's mobile website, shop for a sequin skirt in size 10 and add it to your basket. The cognitive walkthrough was carried out on an iPhone 7 with the environmental setting being in a library. This meant no distractions. Our mentor for the project, UX Research Manager of Shop Direct, Kate Rylance, advised the group to focus on the mobile desktop version as that is the main source of traffic. This challenges the typical online retailer as it generally is on a desktop or is app-based. It was uncovered that the typical average user, when carrying out the scenario, took a total of 14 steps to complete the task from start to finish. This is known as the happy path. Here are the 14 steps taken to carry out the task. This technique helps uncover usability issues, which then in turn help improve the flow of the user's experience. This can be done by reducing or adding in steps. It was found that the path could be reduced in steps between 5 and 10. The main complication faced was in the steps regarding the refinement menu. It can be seen as being confusing. Here are some screenshots labelled in regards to the steps in the path, pinpointing the refinement issues discussed earlier. Here is a list of usability issues that have been addressed from carrying out the cognitive walkthrough. A traffic light system has been applied to indicate the severity of problems. Majority of the problems found have been coded amber, as they aren't majorly disruptive to the user's overall experience. However, if they were changed, it could improve the experience to make it more seamless. 2 of these issues have been highlighted as red because they could be damaging to the user's experience on the site and result in them leaving the website due to frustration of not being able to carry out the task. The second part of the expert review is a heuristic evaluation. This consists of reviewing the interface against a set of guidelines. Heuristics help provide a template to uncover problems users are likely to encounter. The Smashing UX Heuristics Evaluation was the chosen method. This is found on Smashing magazine. This was used opposed to Nielsen's 10 usability heuristics, as this is specifically for a website environment. The guerrilla testing was carried out in 2 locations. Location 1 being Costa Coffee and location 2 being the MMU Business School. This was done as it guaranteed a range of candidates. The MMU Business School was used to film as it is a quiet area compared to the busy coffee shop. The scenario was given to the user and asked to be carried out on their own personal mobile devices. A MacBook Pro 13-inch recorded the users carrying out the task to capture facial expressions and thoughts. There were a total of 20 participants, 3 were recorded and 17 were just asked to carry out the task and fill out the survey. Participants were aged from 19 to 34 years old. The task was carried out on users' personal devices. This ranged from iPhones to Samsungs to Huawei. The time taken to carry out the scenario ranged between 26 seconds and 1 minute 27 seconds. How they carried out the task. This allowed us to see facial expressions. Consent was given prior to carrying out the task. Here is a video of user 1 carrying out the scenario.
The refine page is quite confusing and there's not that many options either.
Users were asked to think out loud when carrying out the task to help gain a better understanding of their thought process throughout. User 1 found it difficult and confusing to navigate through the refinement section.
I wouldn't really know how to even get it to like a medium size.
User 2 found that there was a lack of autofill. She addressed that most sites would tend to carry this feature when searching for things, and it was something that she liked as it helped her when looking for products.
There's no autofill on the search bar, which should probably make it easier, saves time and stuff.
Refinement also popped up as an issue again, specifically the sizing. It wasn't made clear to the user.
On the refining, you can't refine it by size, it just says department, brand, price range, delivery, and then customer rating, which is a bit awkward to be honest. And then you can pick the size once that you're on the actual thing, but it doesn't tell you what's in stock or not when you're looking for the clothes on the actual page.
Stock was also a problem, as it shows the item on a page, but the user found when they went to purchase it, it was out of stock. User 3 addressed how she enjoyed the filtering options and how you had the option to filter sleeve length.
It's quite nice that as you start picking your stuff, it starts giving you different options. So like this sleeve length, for example. But yeah, like the only difficult thing was when you actually try to filter it, it only give you 3 options, whereas you usually like give you all of them. So I just thought like it wasn't available on this website.
She thought it was a change from the other filtering options. However, once again, filtering was seen as an issue as only 3 options appeared. The checking out was also said to be quite easy. Once users had carried out the scenario, they were asked to fill out a survey on Qualtrics regarding their experience. There was a total of 11 questions asked. Open-ended questions were asked to avoid biased results. Here is one of the students seen filling out the survey after completing the scenario. Here are a few quotes from participants when completing the task. The majority of comments were made regarding frustrations users were having as opposed to positives. The majority of comments made were regarding frustrations users were having as opposed to positives. It was clear that users were more likely to say something if they were struggling. Overall, feedback suggested that users found the task to be easy. However, there were still recommendations made on how to improve the task. An autofill feature was recommended to the search bar to improve searching. There was a lot of feedback regarding the refinement menu. Users found it difficult to refine easily. Some users suggested including a colour code system for sizing, as well as video tutorials on refining on the site. An express checkout function was also recommended to save time. Feedback received from the guerrilla testing allowed us to create prototypes to carry out the A/B testing. The prototypes were created in Photoshop, then inputted into the app Creator Marvel to give it as realistic as a feel for users to use. For the A/B testing, there were a total of 10 participants that tested the 2 versions. Versions were labelled A and B. Group A were first shown the old version, Group B were first shown the updated version. The versions were then swapped between the groups and feedback was gathered. This prevented any biased feedback. In Design 1, the search bar feature was changed due to comments from the survey results being raised that an autofill would be a useful feature to include as well as save time. In Design 2, the refinement menu was adapted. Majority of the participants that were surveyed stated they struggled with the refinement. We decided to change it to make it easier for participants. In the updated version, it was made so users could refine more than one thing at a time. In Design 3, the checkout feature was adapted. It was mentioned the use of a quick checkout would save time for customers wanting to purchase the one product in a rush. A sizing feature was added to the product image so that the user could easily select their desired size and proceed to a quick checkout. Here is a video of A/B tester Anna viewing both versions and feeding back to us her opinions. Her consent was given to us prior to being filmed. We showed her both versions and asked her her thoughts.
I thought it was good. I do think the second one was easier to use because it was clearer. But it wasn't that different, if you know what I mean. I thought there were more filters on there. Like there were more options on the second one, so that was much better. And the second one, right. It just, the way the filters were, it was easier to kind of pick which category you I think the colours are okay. I do think it could be a bit more eye-grabbing. Like just having like the pink band at the top and then like a white background. And then if you're looking for like a white polo shirt, like the product doesn't really stand out very well.
Okay.
So that could change. There were more filters in the second one. I just think more options. Also, that when you click on the photo, it re-asks for the size. I don't know if that's...
On the first one or on the
That
second?
was the second one.
Okay.
I thought that was quite good.
Perfect.
Because, like, especially if something, you know, when you're shopping online and sometimes it shows you things
Yeah.
and you don't know whether it's in your size. So that's a good way of like checking if they have it kind of thing. So I thought that was good.
The overall feedback gathered from the A/B testing when asked what version users preferred was that 30% of users preferred Very's existing site and 70% preferred the updated. The updated version was created with feedback from the expert review and guerrilla testing to make the user's journey more efficient and easier to use. The search bar feature was reviewed by users. 60% found they preferred the updated version and 40% explained they preferred the existing one. The search bar enabled users to search more efficiently and provided users with inspiration. The feature didn't have a big reaction as users found they could take it or leave it. It wasn't a necessity. The refinement menu was the next feedback received. 80% of users stated they preferred the updated version compared to 20% saying they preferred the existing. The new refinement allowed users to pick more than one option when refining and was also made less confusing and simple. 40% of users stated they preferred the existing checkout method and 60% said they preferred the new. Overall, users said the quick checkout option, it allowed them to save time and shop more efficiently. A number of changes were made to the homepage. Firstly, the Very banner was made thicker to make it more prominent. The hamburger menu was also changed to white and moved in the left-hand corner as it makes the layout clearer and concise, standing out from other icons. The navigation bar was redesigned. Text was removed as the icons are already self-explanatory. A range of different icons were also added and changed to make it look more sleek. The hero image has been made a full width of the screen to ensure no white space, and it makes it look more modern. Hero image scroll bar has been changed to black spots to make it fit in with the navigation colour scheme. A redesign of the categories was carried out. Images were made to be full width and put in rows of 3. An overlay was also applied and text was applied over the image to save space. The refinement page was adapted to become full width and text was changed to black. It was capitalised and centralised to make it look more sleek. Product images have been maximised and the new text icon has been removed as it takes away attention from the image. The saved love heart button has been added to the image as it is easy to find and leaves more room for text. The description text has been reduced and centralised. The refinement tool was updated. This has been updated to a full width box. Categories have been reduced in number and made more specific. Text has also been centralised. The drop-down feature has been added instead of a scroll function each has. Ticks have also been applied to the selected section so users know what they have already chosen. On the product pages, images have been updated to full width and a 360-degree feature has been added so users can see the product in all its glory. The product description has also been refined. The overall summary found was that decisions were made on all testing method feedback, including my expert review, guerrilla testing and A/B testing. These designs were created to allow the user to navigate through the site efficiently and effectively. The happy path, which was originally 14 steps, has now been reduced to 12. Even though this isn't a major change, it has made the experience simpler for users.